everything I need at my house. I don't need a hall pass.
No. Every time I get to a corner and I see somebody doing a famous Baltimore gangster lean.
We outside.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to the infamous Shop Podcast. Quickies for the summer. The summer is almost over, but guess what? We got the big three in the house. We got Reading Rainbow and Pastor. But anyways, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Okay, well, I guess first thing of business, real quick. I'm sorry, Toya. Go ahead. I apologize.
Never said hi.
Well, first thing of business that I forgot is happy birthday, Pastor.
Bless you.
Happy birthday.
Bless you. Bless you.
I would sing, but I can barely talk.
Oh, man.
Save your voice, my sis.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Just playing. But anyways, what did you do, Pastor?
Let me since you want to be smart. In the beginning of every podcast, I don't know why I have to explain this. There are things that I have to set up behind the scenes in order for us to interact with people. So when I'm not looking at the camera, it's because I'm working for the show. I would think 3 years in, I wouldn't have to continue to announce this, but back to your regular scheduled program.
All right. So there is a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't know about.
And there's more brother and sisterly love. You asked what I did for my birthday. I was invited out to my uncle's church in San Diego last year when I did the eulogy for my brother's funeral. So he invited us out around my birthday weekend. So we went out there on Saturday and we came back on Monday. So it was in the air basically, put him for 5 hours of the day on Monday on my birthday. And then when we got back to pick up the kids from the godparents' house, they had a cake and everything, big 40th birthday sign and everything. So it was kind of cool. I got 2 cakes. I got a cake out San Diego, and then I got a cake when I came back.
That's nice.
That's what's up. Funny you say that. Jazz is out.
And my sister made this shirt.
Hold up. Really though?
Hey, Randy. Hey, Tamara.
I try not to discuss shop business on the show, but I tell you, boy. But I guess I got.
I'm sorry, Six. I like your shirt too. You look nice.
No, that's not what I'm talking. Oh, no, that's not what I'm talking about. So when you say your sister made that shirt, can we be exact? Who's your sister? What's her name?
Toya made that shirt.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm not putting my money where my mouth is, but I thought sometimes would be good. You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
I'm sorry. I'm not even sure what part you hating on. Are you hating because he said his sister, or are you hating because he got a shirt? Because I got comebacks for both.
All right, wait, before you go there, before you go to the comeback, y'all stop. We already did the brother and sisterly love segment already, or whatever. Y'all going. Let me say this.
I just want to be clear because I'm not even gonna give him a chance to answer.
Wait a minute, Toya.
He can't call me sister. Hold on, huh?
I was just gonna say I'm gonna throw him in there. So not only am I throwing love to Toya for making this shirt for me last year, I'm also gonna throw love to my bro because I was thinking of his business when I was out there. So they had a banquet out there on that Saturday, and they had this little setup. It ended up being a microphone, but what I thought it was, I was like, man, that looked like it's a 360 booth. It wasn't a 360 booth. It was just a microphone. But I was thinking about you like, yo, that'd be kind of cool if we had a 360 booth out here.
No, well, thank you. 360 booths in California be like $1,000, bro.
Ooh.
Per hour.
Yeah, they got the good life. Ooh. But no, I'll state.
Now, can I go back to digging in to this?
Go ahead. Let me hear it.
If you have a problem with him calling me sis, You went on this very podcast and said we're barely friends. So that couldn't have been your issue.
That's not
And
my
if
issue.
if it's because I made him a shirt, it was because he said, "Hey, how much is the shirt? I need it by such and such," and sent his money.
I mean, maybe that. I mean, I'd be asking
I
how
can't
much.
really flake on people who pay. I
Well,
have
I
to
mean-
produce it.
Well, sometimes I would just like to know the price first. But you know what? I'll just drop something in the Cash App, and maybe I'll get something.
I mean, as long as it's at the don't drop
So how
$5
I'm supposed
and be like, "Where my shirt at?"
I
Shirt started
digress.
$25.
Forget it. I digress. And
Anyway,
you know,
what y'all been up to?
who people going back to school? Is Mimi back in school yet?
School doesn't start here until next week.
Well, I was totally off, but I guess the big
When
kids
you was
went
in the
back.
group post your first day of school pictures.
Well, you know,
I
I
was
live
like, you
somewhere
can
else.
tell when people out of touch and just post anything.
I don't know. I made that one up.
Oh, so that wasn't even the post you stole.
No, it wasn't. No, but I think here they started school or something like that because I seen it on the news. But anyway,
Okay.
speaking of the news, there I know our news be different, but maybe this should be probably citywide. But I think last week, well, maybe earlier this week or in the last week, one of the DC councilmen, they arrested him, and basically they say he's taking bribes. But I will say this councilman is like the one that be in the hood and he be outside for real. That everybody talk about it, say he do good for this, he done good for that. And I guess the way they took him was like crazy. So like they had the FBI came, guns drawn and everything, made it like a whole, like if he was like on a Netflix special. And I mean he just a regular dude with some dreads and be in the hood. So I thought that was kind of crazy. But you know, they ain't really trying to give him a chance to say anything. So I feel like regardless of what he did, he's just gonna be a casualty of the game. I think his name is Trayvon White. I think. Did y'all hear anything about that guy by any chance? No.
I haven't heard this story.
We're 40 minutes away, and something like that doesn't make it. But okay.
In my news's defense, I don't watch the news at all. So I can't say that it wasn't on our news, but I can say I don't watch the news.
I got another question for y'all. Sometimes I feel like we be living in two different worlds, or I just be late on stuff.
I definitely live in a different world from you.
But I went to Giant the other day, right? And of course, I pick a line with a person every time. So I'm over there trying to pay. The person there, she take my stuff, put it in the bag. I'm trying to pay. She's like, "Oh, we don't take the money. You put it inside the freaking like the place where you put your cards and stuff." I said, "This is crazy." And then I told her, I was like, she happy about it, but I'm like, "Yo, you know, pretty soon they ain't gonna need you." But hey, that's the way the world's going. How do y'all feel about everything being automated?
So I have a great story to tell about that. I went to I'm trying to figure out if I can say the person. I'll do this. I'm back in school, so school has started for me, and I had to my social psychology class. I had to do an observation of just anyone and write about it. So I went to Target and I did an observation of a cashier. I knew the person. So it wasn't weird that I was watching them, but I did the observation and I said that they were covering self-checkout. And I was like, you could tell that they don't like covering self-checkout, as well as you could just tell that this person was rude to the customers. And part of the problem is now the Target I go to, and I went to another Target to see, but the Target that I was in, they have the tags, the anti-theft tags on their stuff. So it is the dumbest idea to me to have 4 self-checkout lanes, one person there, and that one person has to take off the sensors for each person's stuff. So I kind of understood the person's frustration. I was just like, you don't need to work up here because I be done cussed you out. We have a fight. But I think it's so I know Target has said before they had a problem with theft going up because of self-checkout. So I guess that's why they're starting to incorporate the anti-theft locks. However, I think it's the dumbest thing. Also, I don't steal. I got things that God gonna get me back for, and karma, if you believe in it. I got enough stuff that's gonna play out. I don't want to add stealing to it. So I don't steal. But I get why people were stealing self-checkout. Because one, I'm not paid to do this job. Y'all don't hand me a W-2. I gotta ring up my stuff, pay for my stuff, bag my stuff, pay for your bags in some counties, and then y'all want to stop me with sensors? I was like, this is the dumbest thing Target has done. So, needless to say, I hate self-checkout. If I'm in a rush, I probably will go through it because the other problem with self-checkout is they'll have limits on how much you can do, which I appreciate. However, when I go in Giant, they have a 20 item limit in their self-checkout, and we'll have one regular register open.
Yeah.
So that means if you have more than 20 items, you have to go stand in that long line that's going all the way to the back of the store because y'all don't want to open up other registers. But this was just the first, I don't know if it was the first, but this was like AI start of taking over. And people love AI so much, but don't realize how it is taking jobs away. Lance, does the one in Canton have those tags? Because I'm not coming out there if they do. I'm sorry. The Canton Target is by one of my offices. But,
yo, you know the funny thing though? So, from my understanding, if you work at self-checkout or realistically, you're just a worker at Target, if somebody's stealing, you can't do nothing. It's loss prevention that has to do something. So, I know in Arundel Mills Mall, people just run in and run out, and ain't nobody can't stop them. And if you try to stop them, you could get in trouble.
I wouldn't.
Nah, they come back.
Part of the reason why you're not supposed to engage and you're supposed to let loss prevention do it is it's a possibility you could try to stop somebody and get hurt.
Yeah.
Then you want to blame the store. Here's the thing. I will watch you steal and go on about my business because I've worked retail. I don't really remember making that much. I worked at Macy's. I normally worked at I worked at Boscov's, and I worked at a jewelry store. None of them did I make enough to go chase. Oh, and I worked at Al3. Y'all probably don't know what that is. None of them paid me enough to go chasing people for stealing. They paid me enough to be like, hey, take something for me while you're out there.
Yo, I got a funny loss prevention story. So a long time ago, I worked at Zales, right? And this was the Zales in Bowie Town Center when it first opened, right? So it was me and a whole bunch of girls. And my manager, she was an older lady. She was cool though. And one time, these ladies came in. Mind you, dealing with $10,000 rings, $20,000, whatever, right? So you gotta watch people and this and that, right? So I was talking to these two ladies who came in there, and one was holding a baby, and I guess everybody seen that it was getting a little weird, whatever. So the girls started like making their way around the door and like getting to places just in case something popped off, right? And of course they had the sensors, whatever, right? So I'm sitting there holding the engagement ring. This junk was like, it was like 10,000, right? And then you got to give it to them, but you got to watch them. Man, this girl pulled out a titty and stuck it in the baby mouth, and I was confused. I was like, I didn't know what to do. My inner male wanted to just stare. But anyways, long story short, they got me out of there and they didn't steal the ring. But I was
about to say, did the ring get stolen while you titty watching?
No, but I'm just saying it was. I mean, yo, I'm standing there. We right in front of the glass. She just bloop, put it in the baby mouth, and I'm like, whoa. Mind you, I'm like 20-something years old too. But what a day! What a day! What a day!
You know, I always see these posts, and I don't know if I see them because I'm more observant of the situation. But they'll be like, teach your kids to be friends with special needs kids, or teach your kids how to react around special needs kids. They need posts that say teach men how to act in adult situations. Because you should not lose focus because someone starts nursing their child.
I mean, I'm like 20, not even 20. I think I was like.
I feel like you would react the same. Hey, Damien, not you.
Oh.
I'm looking at people that are viewing. So anyway, yeah, grow up. Randy said working at Nordstrom and Hollister taught him, trained me not to interact with thieves. LP couldn't touch them either. Damien said, hey, friend. And then Randy said, Dr. Umar said, we have to stay focused, brothers. Lord have mercy. Okay, so speaking of staying focused, have y'all been watching the DNC?
Yeah, of course, some of it.
So it's a me and you conversation. I missed day one. What you say, 6?
I heard about some stuff.
What you hear about?
My mother was like, "Oh, Lil Jon came out and this and that." And I was like, "All right, man, this is what it is."
I think so.
Bless you. Appreciate you.
Do y'all know each other? I feel like all church people know each other, except for me. Except I don't know anybody. But Randy said he watched every speech. So I watched yesterday. I didn't. Did you watch the first day, Andrew?
I don't know if I watched the first day. I was watching on Monday, whatever day that was. It had Kamala Harris came up. It was a representative from Texas on there.
Mm-hmm.
Female. She spoke really, really, really eloquent.
Okay.
Hold up, Slim. So you about to get the business like I got the business the other day? Go ahead, Toya, give him the business.
You pronounced it wrong. I said Kamala.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, I got the business.
No, you got the business because it is okay to mispronounce somebody's name. It is not okay to mispronounce somebody's name and say, oh, whatever. That is the problem. That is, you know what? We'll see how you feel, Damon. We'll see how you feel. But I watched
I thought you talking about the other dude. I was like, okay.
No, you, Damon.
It's DJ Big Six.
All right, Dante. I watched yesterday, and so yesterday had Patti LaBelle perform. Who else? Oh, the Obama spoke. Kamala's husband, Doug, I believe his name is. He spoke. I enjoyed. Of course, the Obamas brung it in. You know, they regalvanized our hope and all of that. I really enjoyed Doug's speech. I was like, I really think he I mean, I know the spouse normally does speak anyway, but I thought he like his speech really was directed to JD Vance, referring to women who don't have kids as like cat ladies. So I think he really spoke on the importance of what she does bring to their family and how she can do the same for the country. One thing I don't think the RNC did, but I'm not 100% sure. So if it's any Republicans watching it want to correct me, the DNC has a lot of content influencers there. And I think what that does is help because you have your, I think your core fan base who are going to go. Our core fan base isn't as strong, I think, as the Republicans are. Republicans core, if this is the person they rocking with, they rock with it. It's not a whole bunch of well, is he really American? Does he really hate women? You know, it's not the whole thing that we have over here with, is she really black? She's trying to be too black. Things that don't matter. They just like, all right, that's our person. This is who we voting for. We're gonna double down on it. But so you have the core fan base. You have the people who did like join them because they are more excited about her than they would have been about Joe Biden. But I think the part that was missing is the younger demographic. And I think having a lot of content influencers there is their way of reaching out to that fan base. Because I also think these conventions are geared towards the people who are already going to vote, or the people who are already going to vote for her. So I think having like those influencers there helps bring the attention to her to younger people who only say things like, Trump gave us $1,200. That's why I'm voting for him, which is inaccurate completely. Stop pushing that narrative. That is not true. Trump did not give you that money. What were you about to say?
A little bit of conspiracy thoughts here is, you know how the last time we really needed to vote, we had Rock the Vote campaign and Diddy was out there. Don't you find it odd that right before all this stuff starts popping off, Diddy gets in big trouble, and now his word is like dirt? I just think that's I don't know. Just
because I think there's also there are other people who can pick up that mantle. I don't think that like it could only be Diddy who does that. And I think that I'm sorry, I was trying to read these comments. I think that that when we come up with conspiracies like that, we diminish the shit that he's done. And I think that's where I'm not going to stand on my soapbox today. I'll just sit on it. But I think we have to stop, because it's always, oh, they were about to do this, so that's why they want to tear a black man down. Or is it that black man should not have done the stuff he was doing?
Yeah, I think there was a new girl came out recently too. And
I didn't see a new girl, Darian, but I did see another claim, like something about the cartel was suing him now. So I don't listen to any of it.
The
cartel is now suing. So I guess he done raped one of the drug lords. I don't.
Oh man, I can't wait for the Lifetime movie, or not the Lifetime movie, or whatever movie is coming out when this is all said and done.
Let me not mess this name up. Randy said Doug Emhoff, is it? Did a great job. His speech was great, but man, you can't beat the Obamas when it comes to speeches. Michelle was the best of the night. Like, I know why President Obama has to go last, but he even came out and said, like, I'm the fool that's going to go behind Michelle Obama. Because she does kill it every time. So Randy said, yeah, RNC had content creators there, people like Aiden Ross and Charlie Kirk, etc. See, that's why I didn't know, because I don't know any of those people. I know the content creators I follow, and I'm not a lawyer, but also known as Mel Goolsby was there. So that's the main one I've been following. And Kaylin Allen is another content creator that I follow, and I saw he was there. But tonight, Tim Waltz is going to give his acceptance of the nomination speech. I heard Pink was going to be there. I don't know if she's supposed to be there tonight or tomorrow. And sorry. They had the Black Caucus today, and John Legend was at the Black Caucus. So I don't know if he's performing tonight or if it was just him being at the Black Caucus. But I do think I think I kind of skipped over it real fast when you said your mother said Lil Jon was there. He actually performed. So they did the roll call, which they already did a virtual, every state putting up their I don't know what it is, their points. But Randy, what's the word?
Electoral points.
I guess that's what it's called. Sure. But they did an in-person one, and this was more like they had like a party atmosphere. It wasn't just like the state of Maryland puts their 45 points behind Kamala Harris. It was like a real party atmosphere. But for Georgia, Lil Jon came out and performed. And then they saved California for last, because I think that's the state she represents. And they just played I think they played a Snoop song, 2 Kendrick Lamar songs. They played of course they played They Not Like Us, but they played We Gonna Be All Right, and then they played California Love. So that was nice. Votes. Randy said it's just their votes. But yeah, so that was the DNC convention, and that is my update on that.
Okay.
I did realize I am a lot more, I posted it, I am a lot more was patriotic than I would ever admit to. Because it moves me. I was like, this is so amazing. I love democracy. I did watch a lot of the RNC, and all right, not a lot of it, but I watched one day. And when Trump came out, they played that "Proud to Be an American" song. Like, that's one of my top 5 songs. And I still believe America is a great country, that a lot of them do not want me here. But when that song plays, I proudly stand up. Like, I love that song. I'm having fun with this. And I think I'm going to, if I didn't miss the deadline, I think I'm going to work the polls on election day.
Okay, that's what's up. All right. What's going on with the Ravens?
They beat the Atlanta preseason game. Their preseason game, which was I
don't know what it was, mine or everybody else's, but everybody doing it now.
Mine is. So I try to stay still.
You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can hear you. I think I'm looking at it, tell me that my signal is weak.
I know Mark Andrews got a car accident.
What? Who?
But he's all right though.
Who?
Mark Andrews.
Oh, our tight end, right?
Yeah, but he was.
Look at me knowing positions.
Yeah.
I did that just to be smart, just to show what I knew. Oh man. But he all right to play? Like, yeah, I mean, okay. I'm sorry. He is okay.
He's okay.
Not to play, but he's okay. All Randy said, I got that answer for you. He said, the team overall seems good. Offensive line is a little shaky. That's not good.
It's early. I just feel like the Ravens is never a team you have to like worry about being bad. Like I can't remember a time where they were bad.
Somebody's a Ravens hater.
Who's being a Ravens hater? I said you don't have to
Not
worry
your-
about them. Oh, I will say this though. On the other side of the tracks, every year the Commanders or whatever they are, they're just bad every single year.
That's a fact. That's a
They
fact.
get a new quarterback every year, and it just
In the comment on this comment that was just made by Brother Lance, thank you for checking in. However, there's only two categories. There's only a win category and a loss category. So there's no barely one category. Either you win or you did.
Who your team, Lance?
He's a 49ers fan.
Yeah, I think we beat them last year.
Randy said, well, remember, they don't have the starters out right now. It's still preseason.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, what we're judging right now is depth.
Mm-hmm.
You better go on and tell them, because I didn't watch any preseason games. That's not my ministry either. I watch if it's not the kids playing, I'm gonna need an actual NFL season. Otherwise, so no.
Have anybody watched The Union on Netflix yet?
Mm-mm. Is that Halle Berry and somebody?
Yeah, Halle Berry. I think Mark Wahlberg. It's all right.
No, I haven't.
Is it a movie or a series?
A movie.
I will give it a go. Not tonight because the DNC. But I like both. I'm a Wahlberg fan. Y'all ever watch Entourage?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of my favorite shows done by him, and supposedly the way I was told is based off of like him and his crew. So that's dope. Yeah. I watch it. What else y'all got? Let me grab a topic.
Speaking of, I got a topic, and maybe you can probably be the only one to answer that. So, what is the difference of a man being fat and chubby? Let's put a line on this because I'm trying to walk the border. I seen the chubby people getting a lot of love in the comments the other day.
Okay, because you saw that post about was it your post?
Yeah.
Of course it is.
There's a lot of chubby love.
I didn't even comment on it.
So what would you?
I often hear. Okay, so you're asking. You said maybe I can give an answer, but I often see posts that be like, "Ladies, there's a difference between chubby and fat." So I think you should answer that because that question just said, "Ladies, do you like chubby, muscular, or skinny?"
Yeah, there was no fat. So then I automatically put myself in the chubby category. By default.
You automatically what?
I automatically put myself in the chubby category by default.
Well, because there was no other option for. I'm sorry. What would you? That never mind. I'm just gonna pull it. I'm gonna walk that one back. I'm sorry.
I'm chubby.
There was chubby, muscular, and skinny. Would you put yourself in muscular or skinny?
I'm a little muscular, kind of in my way.
Okay. I see. Well, we've all met my husband.
Mm-hmm.
I like bigger guys.
Would you call him fat or chubby?
I don't like to call anybody fat publicly. So I often say when people say certain things, I be like, I don't consider myself chubby. I consider myself fat. I've been fat all my life. I'm fine with that label.
I feel like if your belly goes all the way down and not poke out, then you're chubby. If your
Randy
belly
said,
pokes
I'm
out.
chubby too. I'm in the gym now. So next week I won't be. And
Must
Randy
be
is small enough to next week not be chubby. So get out of here.
nice.
What you mean if your stomach go all the way down?
All right. If your belly
Stand
pops
up.
out, you are fat. This is my thought of it. Really.
Get my whole self in here.
I'm talking about males.
I was just trying to.
I feel like, this is just a thought. Please don't kill me. I'm no specialist. Truthfully, I'm probably fat. But I feel like if your stomach pokes out, you're probably considered fat. If you can go all the way down, then you're chubby. Per se, I think.
I honestly think chubby is a cute word for fat.
Oh.
It's a more demure.
Okay, well, I'm chubby. I'm good with that.
Have y'all seen the demure trend?
I seen it. I didn't understand it. I seen the word everywhere on my timeline, but I didn't know what it was from.
I don't know what that is.
Let me see if I can find it on TikTok. Hold on.
Pastor,
Yeah,
are you consider yourself skinny or muscular?
skinny.
Okay.
But my wife might say I'm fat.
Very demure, very mic.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm saying my wife might say I'm fat because I gotta get rid of my stomach.
Shayna always says the opposite of you, so I believe you.
Their makeup for work, very demure, very mindful. I don't come to work with a green cut crease. I don't look like a clown when I go to work. I don't do too much. I'm very mindful while I'm at work. See how I look very presentable? The way I came to the interview is the way I go to the job. A lot of you girls go to the interview looking like Marge Simpson and go to the job looking like Patty and Selma. Not demure. I'm very modest. I'm very mindful.
Obviously, as you guys, because I went to an influence.
Trying to see if I saw another one.
Speaking of interviews,
I think that's supposed to be where it started, and then people are
very demure. I don't wear too much makeup. I don't come showing up with wing liner and lashes. I do a little hair oil on the wig. I do a little tinted moisturizer. I do a little brow gel. Very considerate, very approachable, very demure.
I'm kind of gonna skip over that, but anyways. So, question: have any of y'all had a Teams interview before?
Did you just?
Yeah, I had an interview on Teams.
So I had an interview on Teams the other day, and I guess my age is really showing, and I'm old because I popped up in front of that screen, my whole outfit on, and I was sitting there like this. He was like, "You don't have to have your camera on," and I felt like an idiot, but I didn't know. I thought, but anyways, did you have to have your camera on for the interview, Pastor?
It depends. They let you know whether or not you have your camera on. But I did. Yeah, I did.
I was about to tell him myself, but then I realized this is being recorded, so I'm not going to say no more. But yeah, and so I'm going to say it. I mean, they know about this, so I ain't really tripping. So I was supposed to have it last week, right? And I was sitting by the phone at the time that I thought they were supposed to call, and like I was like there, and come to find out it was the Teams meeting, and I was like, oh, this is what's going on now. So very interesting, very interesting. The world is changing. I'm getting old.
So how did you dress for your interview?
I had a shirt and a tie.
Is that how you would dress if you were going in person?
Yeah.
No, okay.
Oh, well, minus the sweatpants, but hey, nobody's gonna know.
Well, for what they could see. No, I asked because Marlon and I had a discussion about I did an interview and I wore a suit. And he was like, "You dressing like that to go online?" And I was like, "I'm dressing how I would." Like, I've worked in HR, so I have a strong belief in how you show up for your interviews, how your resume should look, this, that, and the third. So I was like, I'm dressing how I would if I showed up for the interview. Now, what I figured out is you can only see this. I was like, maybe the jacket wasn't necessary because I had a black dress and then a black blazer. So you really couldn't tell the difference. It just looked like I had on black long sleeves. It looked like this. I didn't have an interview today.
Yeah. Hence why I changed the background. I took the painting down and just sat in the blue wall like, okay. And then I was mad that I spent all that time prepping. And he said, you can turn the camera off.
Nah. Well, you know, in
cool.
Teams, they you can change your background. So
to be having that look, like that moving look, and then you can see, I don't like that.
I guess so. My interview was within my company, and we all pretty much use it. So it wouldn't like nobody's gonna be like, hey, your thing is doing that, because we all pretty much don't show our physical background because my company is completely remote. So that's how all our meetings go.
And y'all keep y'all camera on all y'all meetings?
So most of the meetings that I do, I don't have my camera on, but for the interview, we did have our cameras on. I don't do listen, I don't typically get dressed until 3 or 5 o'clock. So I can't really be on camera for any of my meetings. And that is the normal flow. But I had one meeting last year and it was my boss and I was somebody else. And I was the first one on and I had my camera on. And my boss was like, oh, you cut your camera on for them? I was like, well, I knew all of y'all would have y'all's on. However, I do have a cute little profile picture that I use. So that's also why I don't cut my camera on.
All right. Well, question for everybody. I would like everybody to give one interview tip that you have.
Oh, I have one. Since I was cut off from my topic, be demure.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was it. I gave it. I said be demure.
Oh. All right. So one thing I learned back in my time of interviewing, they always ask you like, oh, tell me something that you have a problem with, or something along those lines, like, or something about you that you can't do, or something like a flaw. And I always used to say, oh, I'm a perfectionist, and that could be a problem sometimes. But then, of course, in the world of Facebook and TikTok, I watched a reel, and it was like, don't say that, because then they'll be looking through your resume and find every typo and everything, and then know that you're lying, that you're not a perfectionist. So please don't go out there and tell them you're a perfectionist unless your resume shows that. Pastor, you got... Oh.
I would like to say that, hold on real quick, that you shouldn't have any typos in your resume, because that will stop them from even interviewing you. But also, it's just, that's such a textbook answer that interviewers don't like that answer, period.
Yeah. Well, what was you going to say, Pastor?
A couple things. Make sure you read the job description and study the job description before the interview. And also do well with selling yourself or whatever like that. To be honest, if I use y'all for an example or whatever like that, maybe Six is a better candidate than Toya, but Six does a poor job of selling himself or whatever. So during the interview, he's not selling himself, and he's great, but it doesn't come out in his words or how he sells himself. And then Toya gets the job, even though Six is the better candidate, because Six didn't know how to sell himself.
I do have that issue. It comes down to when you got to write your like your end of the year evaluation. I hate that part. in life.
I have to do my mid-year review when I get off of here. I have my meeting tomorrow. I have no problem selling myself. I think that was a great assessment that you did of the both of us, because I may not be qualified for what I'm applying to do, but I'm gonna make you think I am.
That's
And
what's
if
up.
if I don't know, the thing is, if I don't know, I'm gonna find a way to figure it out before I tell you that I don't know how to do it. Like admitting that I can't do it is the very last resort. When I first started with this company, they were like, one thing you have to be able to do is you have to be proficient at pivot tables. I had never heard of pivot tables.
Oh, that's funny.
I took my behind home, got on youtube.edu, and you couldn't tell me nothing. I was ready to kill it. I've been with this company for 9 years and have not used a pivot table yet.
Mhm.
I was about to just ask you. I was gonna ask you, are you good at pivot tables? Because I be needing some help with them. I ain't gonna lie.
I was so mad at them people because when I say I was determined, I needed a job. I've always wanted to work for this company. So when I finally, and I mean, I had been applying for years. So when I got my foot in the door for the interview, they were like, the main thing you need to know is pivot tables. I was like, say less. I was like, oh, I'm very good at it. Don't worry. Had never heard of it. I came home and was like, we're gonna learn today. And then I was in here just making pivot tables and doing different trainings. 9 years. I have not. I started the week of Thanksgiving in 2015. I have not used the pivot table yet. So no, I cannot help you.
All right. So I mean, he's 49 after, and I know I normally be forgetting this.
I got a comment.
Oh, go ahead, ma'am.
Randy said I had to be proficient in AutoCAD or CAD for this lateral move I made in my company. Bruh, I was on YouTube for days leading up to the second interview, drawing houses and cars. Listen, YouTube can teach you. I'm sorry, y'all. I believe that YouTube can teach you to do brain surgery.
I think I'm about to put up a gondola because of YouTube. And I don't work with no tools.
Well, you go ahead. We'll never see it.
You can, you know.
Nobody's coming up to Snakeville.
Disrespect.
Go ahead, Pastor. Take it away.
So I'm gonna be quick today. My message is gonna be about just a short message about trusting God. I was talking to somebody at work today, and they were saying that they was really for the last couple of nights they was having problems sleeping. Just because they was thinking about something, and it was taking them there. And then they was like, you know, they seen a sermon on Facebook or something like that, and it was just like it felt like they was talking to them. Then they caught the Bible or whatever like that, and a Bible scripture jumped out at them that had them thinking that, you know, maybe it's not that serious and I just need to let God have it or whatever. So I heard this song that said, Spirit lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the water wherever you will call me. And sometimes we have to let our faith get to a point where we begin to trust God. It's easy to say I trust him. It's easy to, you know, go back and forth to church or whatever. But when it gets real, when the thing hit the fan, you know, and you really got to show that you trust God, that's when life gets real. So, I mean, like, sometimes we got to make our words become action and actually trust God with what we have. I've done it. You know, there's some situations where you may have a loved one or a friend. That is the song. Thanks, Randy. Where you have a loved one or a friend that's under the weather or at the hospital or on their sick bed, and they decide that the medical team decides that it's nothing they can do for that person or whatever, and they're going to be going to hospice instead of going back to that senior home or whatever. And when the rubber hits the fan, you got to trust God. You got to trust God that his way is the best way. You got to trust God that whatever happens, everything work out. When God puts you in a situation where you had to trust him, it leads you to better times. So that was my message for everybody today. Just trust God with whatever you have. Trust him with your finances. Trust him with your family members. Trust him with your plans to whatever you're going to do, whether it's getting a new job, getting a new career. You'd be surprised at what outcomes you may have if you decide. Not only is you going to say that I trust God, but if you actually trust God.
Amen.
Amen. All right, folks. I guess this is it for summertime quickies. When everybody go back to school?
My kid's going to school Monday.
Oh man,
Mine too. So
Okay.
is this our last quickie, or do we have a quickie next week?
I don't know, man. That's something that we have to discuss as a 6, 5, or
Labor
4.
Day, just because kids are going back to school, I don't feel like the summer is over. I feel like
All
that's
right.
just what the government does. So I feel
You
like
heard
we
from
can
the
do
boss.
one more. We can do one more for the 28th, and then September we go back to regular shows.
All right.
I kind of like that whole show, but I ain't gonna say nothing.
All right.
But hey, I'm glad y'all folks joined in, and I appreciate everybody who showed up to the show today, and our extended members, and everybody who watched. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for showing us love and support. Shout out to the Facebook group. Answer more questions. Post. Randy, we need you to post. You're a very smart guy. We need those.
Where's Kim?
I don't know, man. Kim been MIA
I was going hard, and now all of a sudden, I was like, I haven't approved the post for Kim.
I mean, people wives.
Check on your brother, make sure he okay. Be a good friend.
You know, people get in trouble. I got in trouble in the group before too. The group will get you in trouble.
Oh, so Kim got in trouble.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just
man
assuming.
like that.
I'm watching the patterns and I'm just making assumptions.
Okay.
One day he was there. One day he was just there. Next day he was posting a whole lot. Next day he quiet.
Like Kim was posting so much, I was like, "Yo, somebody else need to approve posts because I'm getting tired of doing this." Then I was just scrolling. I was like, "Wait a minute, did he leave the group?" Randy said I'm back from sabbatical, so I'll get more active. I'm going back to school, so I'll be less active.
More
See y'all
active.
next week.
You know.
All right, y'all.
All right, folks. Good week.
Bye.